Hi, today I'm going to walk you through setting up your new laptop. We were able to pre-install quite a few programs and set some defaults for you, but there's just a few things that you're going to need to do on your own to finish setting up your laptop for daily use. The things that we're going to take a look at today are setting up Outlook 2016, pinning and unpinning tabs from your taskbar, setting your default apps and file types, activating your smart notebook, adding and removing desktop icons, and finally, how to add printers to your device. The first thing that's most important is that you actually sign into your device before you leave the school building. To create your user profile on this device, you do have to be connected to the network, and you have to do that from school. So the number one most important thing is sign into your laptop before leaving the school building when you pick it up. After that, many of the setup steps could be done from home, but make sure you sign into the laptop before you leave, or you won't be able to do anything. Once you get signed in with your regular login that you would have for your desktop login, you're going to see this screen. The first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is set up our Outlook 2016. We're not going to use this mail icon that's down here at the bottom in your taskbar. We're going to talk about getting rid of that shortly. But what we're going to do is come over here to this Outlook 2016 desktop icon, go ahead and open that up. It's going to walk you through the setup wizard. Much of the stuff is going to be pulled from that district user profile, and you really just kind of have to click next. We want to connect to our email accounts. We're going to click yes. It's going to pull your information from your district profile. It's going to establish some connections. We're not going to add another account at this time. And then we simply have to click finish. It's going to ask us in just a moment if we want to check for updates. Yes is what we want to do. And then we're going to go ahead and click accept. I want to activate the software over the internet. Yes. It might take a couple minutes. We're going to close that out, and then we can go ahead and look at the rest of our Outlook. Now, one thing that you might notice or remember from the document, if you have a paper copy of that setup instructions, Outlook does not necessarily store any of your settings that you've set up on other devices. So how you want your reading pane to look, what happens to messages as you read them, those settings don't necessarily stick around. So to change those settings or just verify that your Outlook is set up like you want, you come over to File, and then Options, and then you can work through these tabs on the left side to set your Outlook up the way that you want it. You just kind of scroll through, see what things look like. This is what your name shows up as to other people. You can change what your theme is. Here you can go ahead and click the check mark to make Outlook the default program. It should already be checked for you. If you get into this Mail tab, that's where you can change a lot of the settings about your mail. You can create your signature right here. You can customize how things are like read if you want it to automatically mark red when you click on it, if you want it to wait a few seconds, all those types of things. How you want messages to notify you when they arrive, all of those different types of settings that you can go through. You can kind of read through and change different things as you want. Same with your calendar people, tasks, all of those fun stuff. So just work through your settings, make sure it's set up the way that you would like on your device. Okay. The next thing on our list was pinning and unpinning tabs on the taskbar. Now, as you notice, we have Outlook down here. That is the mail program we want to use. We don't want to use this native mail client. So what we're going to do to get rid of that is we are going to two-finger click or right-click the mouse button at the top if you have one of those, or if you have a mouse connected to your device, you can just two-finger click and then unpin from the taskbar. The same with the Microsoft Store. You're probably not going to be in there very often, so I would just go ahead and unpin that to clear up some space. Same with Microsoft Edge. We have actually set Chrome as the default browser on your device, so we can go ahead and unclick Edge. Now, if you notice, we do have the icons for Outlook 2016 and Chrome right here, but they have not been pinned to the taskbar yet. They're just simply because they are open, they're down there. So if we want those to stick around for the long term, we need to right click again on those or two-finger click, pin to the taskbar. Same thing with Chrome. I'm going to go ahead and pin that to the taskbar as well. So now if I were to close out of Outlook, we see that it sticks around because we pinned it to the taskbar. This little dude is your file explorer. It opens up access to all of your different files. I like to keep it on there, but if it's not something you like to have and you want to find that from your start menu, you can unpin it. Same with this task view, that can also be unpinned. That simply shows you the programs that you have open. So it's kind of up to you if you want to pin those. If you want to pin something new that you use quite often, you're simply going to find either the desktop icon if you want it down here. Same thing, right click or two-finger click. Say I want Word on there, and then you can pin it to the taskbar. Think of your desktop icons and your taskbar icons basically as shortcuts. They're programs that are installed on your computer. This is just a quick, fast way for you to open them and access them. The benefit of having them on the taskbar is that this taskbar is always available to you. And so even if you have other windows open, you can quickly switch between your tabs. If they're just on your desktop, you would have to close or minimize programs that you have open to get to those desktop icons. So it's just kind of how you want to have those quick bookmarks found. The next thing we're going to do is take a look at setting up some default apps. Like I mentioned, we were able to pre-install quite a few of the defaults, but we just want to verify that those are the way that we would like them. So to get to our default apps, we're going to go down to our Windows Start menu in the bottom left-hand corner, then find our Settings wheel. This opens up all of the settings for your device. This is also where you could change your display, sound, notifications, your power settings. So like when your computer would time out when it's connected to power versus battery, those types of things. You can personalize your background or your lock screen with different pictures, adding maybe a Bluetooth speaker or something to your device. These are places where you can change some of those settings about how your computer operates. But what we're going to want to do right now is click on the apps setting. This list is all of the things that are installed on your computer. And so those are just all of the apps. We're going to come over here to the default in the apps menu, and we're going to check what default apps we have set. Email has already been set to 2016. Maps is fine. Our music player is right here. Photos is good. The video player, you can keep it on movies or TV. We do recommend that you do go ahead and change it to the same player as the music player. To change a default app, you simply just regularly click on it. So just a left click or a one-finger click, and then select the program that you would like to use. So I'm just going to click that. It will pop up and say, are you sure? Oh, it didn't. You might have to verify that, yes, I do want to go ahead and switch anyway. Sometimes it tells you not to switch it or that this isn't the recommended one. And like we mentioned, Google Chrome has been set as your default web browser. If you feel very strongly about a different web browser, do feel free to go ahead and, again, single click and change it to a different browser. So those were our default apps. The last thing that we want to check is our default apps by file type. So if we have a Microsoft Word document that was emailed to us or a PDF, this is where we're going to set what program it opens up in. So we come down just below those default apps for our main file types, and we're going to click Choose App by File Type. And this is going to list every single file type that is available that the device knows about. They're all in alphabetical order, so it starts with files that have numbers at the beginning and then just scrolls through. Some of these you may never have heard of or know that they're a type of document, but they are. Many of the defaults are going to be set up to open in the best program, but we're going to actually scroll all the way down to PDF. It's the one that we need to change. And then get that set up correctly for you. So when we get to PDF, there we go. It's currently set to Microsoft Edge. This means it would open up that Microsoft Edge browser and open the PDF in an internet browser. It's not the best app to use, so we have installed Foxit Reader for you. You can go ahead and click on that Foxit Reader. Again, this is kind of that verification or pop-up menu. We're going to click Switch anyway. And so now Foxit Reader has been set as our PDF viewer for any PDF documents that you wish to open. If for some reason you have another file type that's just not opening correctly, this would be where you would come and make that switch to get it to open in an app that you would like. Okay. Next on our list was to go ahead and finish installing Smart Notebook. Smart Notebook has been installed on the device, but we do have to activate the product key. When we click on the Smart Notebook icon, similarly to Microsoft Outlook, where we had to kind of run that setup wizard, we have to do the same thing with Smart. So for Smart Notebook, we are going to come down here. If your school is using product keys, enter your key here. We're going to click that blue here. Our product key is already loaded. We just have to go through the activation process. So we're going to click and highlight that product key blue, accept the terms of the license agreement, and then click next. We're going to submit the request automatically. Click next again. We'll see that the key pops up. It's good until 5/31 of 23. And then we're going to go ahead and click finish. We see that it's finished. I like to go ahead and click on this Start Exploring just to make sure that the notebook loads and that our program is there. But at this point, Smart Notebook has been activated and is ready to go for use on your laptop. Next, we will take a look at desktop icons. Those are these items that are kind of pinned to your desktop. There, again, are just kind of shortcuts to programs that are installed on your computer. You will notice that you have a curriculum folder. This is your network server folder. You only have access to that folder when you are at school. So if you have any documents, lesson plans, worksheets, stuff like that, that are saved in that curriculum folder, if you're planning to work from home, do remember that you need to look at the tutorials that have been shared with you on Schoology or Seesaw to make sure that you save those files elsewhere, either on Google Drive or another folder on your desktop that's not in that curriculum folder. So that way you have access to those files if you're not at school. Again, you can add or remove icons to your desktop to have those shortcuts as you want. To remove an icon, you're simply going to two-finger click or right-click again and click delete. This would delete the icon from your desktop. That would not delete the program from your computer. If I want to add a new icon to my laptop desktop, I would just go down to my start menu, find the program that I want to add in my list of programs. Maybe I do like Microsoft Edge and I want to have that as a desktop icon. And then I'm simply going to click on it and drag it to my desktop. And now I have that icon and I can move it around and have it where I want. Again, if I don't want it, right click on it, click delete. I haven't lost the program from my computer. It would still be down with Microsoft Edge, but it's no longer on my desktop. The last thing to finish setting up your device is to make sure that you have printers installed if you wish to print from school. To get to the network printers that are available to you, you're going to want to find that File Explorer icon either in your taskbar or in your Start menu. And up here where it says Quick Access, we're just going to click up there and then backspace that Quick Access out. We're going to type //, that's the button right underneath the backspace key on your keyboard, and then HSD for Hastings School District, hyphen PRNT, the word print with no vowel, and then hyphen SRV or server, again, no vowels in there, so SRV. So // HSD hyphen PRNT SRV. Click enter, and then you're now going to see all of the printers available on the print server in the district. Again, they are alphabetical, so it starts with the ABD or ABE, then moves into like district office printers, Hastings High School, HMS would be next, then Kennedy, McAuliffe, Pinecrest, all the way down to the bottom. So you would just scroll to your building, then find the printers that you wish to install. So for example, on this computer that's going to be operating out of the high school, it may be that they want the the color printer that we have available to us. So if I want to install that, I'm going to 2-finger click or right click and click connect. It's going to connect to the server. It's going to look for drivers and then install those for this device. It takes a minute for the first couple. Then if I want to add an additional computer or printer, maybe for the pod that the teacher works out of, I would find the additional printers that I want to add and then just keep clicking connect for the devices that you would like to add to your computer. And then your printers would be ready when you go into different programs to select which printer you would like to use. Those are the main things that you should probably do to get your computer ready. Again, I would suggest make sure you set up your Outlook. Check those default apps to make sure those are set correctly. Activate your smart and add printers. Those are probably the top 4 things that you need to do. The other items like pinning and unpinning tabs and doing desktop icons are just kind of your own personalization, along with checking those other settings for personalization. Those are all things that you can do to have a more pleasurable experience when using your new laptop. If you do have any questions, please reach out to your building tech staff and they can help you with setting up your device. Have a great day.